welcome back to RockTropia. This is Sturge coming to you from Planet Arcadia, where I'm leaving very soon because I've heard something potentially interesting, maybe disturbing, about Planet RockTropia, so I'm headed that way. And by the power of editing, a 50-minute trip turns into simply a transition. So here I am, back on Planet RockTropia. It's been a very long time. I swore I wasn't coming back until certain things were resolved with this planet. Maybe only half of those problems have been resolved, but it does appear that there is some new and exciting things. So what is that is so exciting that would have brought me here? So if I open the Entropy Exchange and go to the Market tab, I can see that we got Ancient Greece shares, Calypso Land Deed Trust shares, Crystal Palace Space Station, New Treasure Island, and lo and behold, RockTropia Shares. Now, there's been a lot of speculation, certainly, that this was going to happen eventually, and it did, clearly, but none of them are available yet. I'm going to get to the details of that, but I also want you to notice how many there are. That's 1 million shares. That's a lot of shares. Next, only New Treasure Island had 800,000, and then Calypso Land Deed Trust has 6 million. So, wow, that's a lot. Considering, ancient Greece, 400 grand. Yeah, 1 million shares. That's a tremendous number of shares. And there's a little snag you see I'm going to get to with that in a minute. But I want to get into some other detail that probably would have helped us see this coming. You see, on April 23rd of this year, MindArk put out a press release stating, hey, we're creating an AI president of the universe, and NEVERDIE is not going to be it anymore. And then there's some fancy talk here, about saying, hey, NEVERDIE is handing over the reins of the president of the virtual reality. Now, believe what you want about AI or machine learning, whatever. This is an interesting statement. Sad that it wasn't actually fed to the community unless you went looking for it. And then less than a month and a half later, MindArk says, hey, we're taking over the planet of RockTropia. We're going to do all the development. We're going to do all of the things that NEVERDIE didn't do. Or wanted to do, and we wouldn't let him. It's hard to tell which is which. But what's interesting about this is you could have predicted this as well. In fact, I did many times, and a lot of people said, hey, Sturge, you're wrong. That's not going to happen. It was quite obvious that this was going to happen. And that's because of the issues with the NEVERDIE wallet and that profit-sharing system that was put in place with that. Here's the official statement. I'm going to link all of this down in the description. You can read it for yourself, get caught up. I know some people were confused about all the information. Don't be confused no longer. But I do want to say, I think I predicted this pretty well, that there were some problems. And now shares of RockTropia are going to be available. And some people really deserve those shares more than others. As always, I don't want to be super long-winded, but do feel like I need to give you a little bit more information. This is the roadmap for the NEVERDIE coin, the teleport token, and what once was RockTropia. You can see here the API, Essence, Shroud of the Avatar, and Dragon King all on the left side. And this is pretty ambitious. This is what the NEVERDIE Studios people, I believe, were working on. What's missing from here is the RockTropia information, and that's fine. I get it because it didn't happen, so be it. But the Dragon King did happen, and Shroud of the Avatar certainly did happen as well. And I will link this down in the description, this roadmap. But I want to show you that this is all still there. So this information has just been sitting there for years and years and years, and it hasn't been pulled. So. But that seems crazy to me. But the one thing I did want to show you is this is what the wallet used to look like. And it very quickly redirects to the NEVERDIE IO. But if we go back to the wallet, and actually you have to go back to the wallet, hit the little X to stop the loading, and you begin to get some of the information from this. Now, if you had MetaMask loaded and you were logged into your account, you could then see all of this information, the NEVERDIE tokens, the teleport tokens, and all of the sub-tokens for the different areas where you could invest your other tokens in and gain the profit sharing aspect of it. Now, I had to mute the sound on this. There's a cool little tinking sound that goes along with running over those icons, but it really gets terrible. It didn't capture well, so don't worry about that. When you get there, you'll get the full experience. But I was going through a little bit of this, but I'm going to let you go through it yourself. You should be able to see this without any problem because you're not logging in with an account. Here just shows you what those tokens were. You know, we've got rock dollars, VR gold, VR silver, blah, 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 blah. I encourage you to read through this if you're interested in how the whole thing came about. I would say it was probably a really, really ambitious effort on NEVERDIE's part to actually say, hey, look, I'm going to create jobs, and this is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to create my own coin, blah, blah, blah. Look, I thought it was, in that time, very ambitious and very cool. And I felt like NEVERDIE really had the wherewithal and the tenacity to get it done. But something happened along the way, and we haven't been told what that is. Now, if we go a little bit further, we can continue to go in to see more detail from the different web pages and so forth that are associated with the NEVERDIE.com, the API, and all of these other things that go along with it. I encourage you to go look through this. I'm not going to keep going through it. I think I said enough on this, but there are those of us who invested in this, who gave NEVERDIE our Ethereum, and then purchased the NEVERDIE coins via our Ethereum. And that's one of the pieces, the last pieces of this I want to show you. The last thing I want to show you is a Twitter post by John Jacobs himself, not under the NEVERDIE account, but just under his John Jacobs account. And this was made June 30th, 2017. And it shows clearly, and with him boasting, that he's raised $100,000 using the Ethereum that was given to him by the investors in the RockTropia funds, so to speak, using the NEVERDIE coins and the teleport tokens. So this gives you a very clear picture of, at least at that moment, that he was selling them at $400 per Ethereum. That's huge. It's a lot of money. 100 grand, you know, maybe to a studio that's trying to develop an API and and continue to keep up with the updates for RockTropia. That's not a lot of money. But we don't know how much more Ethereum was raised after this particular point, because there is a particular point where the Ethereum in our wallets that were using to purchase NEVERDIE coins is no longer available. And if I had access to my tiny bit of Ethereum, I could recoup the cost of the investment at Ethereum's current price, about $3,000 a coin. So I urge NEVERDIE to give me back my Ethereum, open up the wallet, let me get my Ethereum out of there. I'll use my own Ethereum to get the gas and call it good. But I just wanted to show you very clearly that this did happen, and this post is still live, so we can corroborate that NEVERDIE sold our Ethereum and profited. What he did with that, I don't know, and maybe he spent it, on something good for RockTropia. But we don't know what that is, and we may never know. Let me wrap it up here. As many of you know, I try to keep everything positive about Entropia Universe, MindArk, and the avatars and planet partners who are invested in this game, because that's truly what it is. I think this 1 million shares is very important for the game going forward. If MindArk isn't willing to give us those, our share value equivalent to what Ethereum was sold at by NEVERDIE, then NEVERDIE, who owns some of these shares by his own admission, recently on a LoreSpade stream, he had an interview and said, yes, I own some of these shares. Then NEVERDIE should give us that equivalency of his shares, so as that our investment is not a loss. It took a lot longer to even materialize, but at least then it wouldn't be a loss. And I think that would be a great thing for RockTropia going forward. In fact, I think it would be an amazing thing for RockTropia going forward. We need this planet. You've got to have alternative ingots for welding wire, as well as all the other fun things that actually come from RockTropia, the Vixens, and the Android gears, and so on and so forth. I think this is a good thing, and I want to keep it positive. If you're coming in here to leave negative comments, you're gonna be met with my ire. So don't do that. That's not gonna be a good thing. This is a positive thing, and we're gonna do what we can, as players, and I'll do what I can as a YouTuber to promote RockTropia if we are rewarded for our patience and efforts. And that's about all I got to say. Now you have the information. All the links are down in the description. I hope this was informative, and look forward to some more videos about RockTropia and what's still here and what might disappear as this planet gets developed. This is Sturge signing off. Ciao.